What's up, guys? We're back on Wednesday. It is hot, markets are red, and it is boring. But you're here with us, and I appreciate that. Welcome, guys. Smash the likes and subscribes. I'm just going to jump right into it. No intro. So what I want to share with you guys is very simple. I'm going to have to go to a different chart, though. We got Bitcoin pulled up. We're going to have to pull up BLX. If you're not familiar, BLX is the Brave Liquid New Coin Index, something. Doesn't really matter. What the ticker is the full history from day zero of Bitcoin. And it has great value to all of us. So here's the full chart. Bitcoin starting trading around a few cents, almost went to zero, and it's been pretty much up since then. So something that I think we lose perspective of, especially with this little candle up here, whole history all the way back to 2010. This little red up here, we lose perspective. That's okay. It's normal. But what I want to do is really quickly as our warm up or intro, I want to go back and just look at the previous all-time highs. So we're going to look at 2013, 2017, and then we're going to look at today. And we're going to hopefully get a little bit more perspective on just Bitcoin, crypto bull runs in general. Actually, we'll throw 2011 on there too. Each one of these highs, very exciting times. I'm not sure we really reached that yet in this cycle. Though there was a little bit of excitement, a little exuberance back in March, I don't think we hit the euphoria that we saw in the previous cycle. So I don't think 2017 fits in too well with what I want to describe. Not really. But maybe there's some value here. This was very early in the Bitcoin history. In fact, it was only trading at about $30 at its high. Retraced or fell from that $30 mark in ways you and I may have never experienced. Never, ever experienced. From $32.50, Bitcoin fell all the way down to $2 for a 93 or 94% retracement. It definitely was over then. I wish I was in Bitcoin back then. Unfortunately not. But it was definitely over. It's never going to go up again until it did. Bitcoin rallied all the way from that bottom at $2 to $1,177 in late 2013, early 2014. From $1,177, Bitcoin fell again to $165. That was an 86% retracement from the high. Scary, scary stuff. The valuable information comes online more in this part of the cycle. So here's what we're looking at. On the way back from that low, we see Bitcoin didn't just blast through. It didn't just go from 100 whatever all the way up to new all-time highs in a straight line. In fact, you can see there were actually some pretty severe retracements here along the way. These falls, somewhere in the order of 40 or 50% just to continue up to that high. And as it approached the high, we are on the weekly time frame for those of you who might not know. We spent a good amount of time kind of just messing around at the high, letting people fill in with their imaginations and their fears of what will come next. Will we ever see higher prices? This one right here was definitely spooky. January 2017, that's a 35, almost 40% fall after it retested the all-time high. From that moment, it took over 100 days to actually break out, to actually see Bitcoin make that big move to the upside that we're basically sitting here waiting for right now. Over 100 days. You can see there was some flirting with it. The chart, of course, much cleaner back then. I think we can attribute that to less algorithmic trading, less bots, less market makers, more just organic spot exploration in price. So blasted off again, left 1,100 and reached 20K or 19.7 in late 2017. From there, we fell again from almost 20,000 down to $3,100 for an 83% retracement, a big fall, the biggest dollar value fall Bitcoin had ever done to that point. We spent a lot of 2019 getting excited, maybe more similar to what we've seen this year, though we did not reach a new all-time high. Bitcoin topped out about 14K. March of 2020 came in, we crashed down back to the lows. But again, looking at that retest or the approach back to that all-time high, Bitcoin spent some time underneath doing the same will it, won't it kind of game, letting people fold their hands, letting bears sell their coins right before the rip. This one, definitely not as long, only about a month and change before blasting off. But again, we see Bitcoin return to its highs, and it didn't just blast through. It was not satisfying. It kept us in suspense. It allowed us to just imagine what could happen if it didn't break, right? We broke through 69K. I'm losing track now. Losing track of these all-time highs in the cycle. I'm just going to leave it there. 69K, and here we are. Bitcoin again, back at all-time highs. In fact, breaking all-time highs. That does separate it from those previous cycles. This is pre-halving. This is much earlier than perhaps we would think of in the 4-year cycle stereotype that we think about. But this is it. This is what I wanted to show you and what I wanted to talk about in the intro here. Bitcoin spending time doing the exact same thing it seems to have always done once it retests the all-time high. Sitting here, letting us kind of worry about it, panic, letting bears get out, etc. How long will this last? I wish I knew. I don't have the answer. No one does. But what I do know is that at some point, Bitcoin will see a meteoric rise again, like it has every single time that it's retested an all-time high. This is very spicy stuff. So before you get too worried or too defeated or too panicked, remind yourself that that's what you're looking at. You're just looking at these tiny little candles at the top of the biggest rise in any asset's history. Can't even really put it in percents at this point. Too many percents. There it is. I don't have much to talk about today. That's super specific. I do have something I want to share with you guys on the day. The title today is basically, is it over? Are we crashing? Is there hope? There's a little bit of hope. I will admit that maybe this is a bit of hopium, but we do serve up the best hopium here. The best hopium in town is good stuff. Don't worry. It's clean. It's tested. Good stuff. On the day, we have so far held our low from May at 56,000. We are technically at a higher low. I wouldn't celebrate too much about that. Obviously better than having broken through that over the past few days, but still a little sketchy. Our oscillators, our indicators, our charts, our patterns, nothing looks too great, honestly. It all is kind of floored and sitting there, but there is one indicator that's giving us a little spicy signal that maybe we will see a return back to that all-time high, or at least some kind of bounce, some kind of relief from this selling. And that's right here. There's actually more than one. There's more than one indicator, but we'll start this way. Because we have preserved that higher low so far, our RSI on the day is definitely giving us bullish divergence here. The daily RSI has not been this oversold since all the way back in August of 23. And that was back here on this sell-off. People thought the rally was over. We expected, 2019 is repeating. We'll go back to the lows. And I think this is where a lot of bears actually got stuck here. Shorting 25. They shorted every rally on the way up. They shorted 25. But bullish divergence building, that's not enough to go off of. It's not enough to like max long right now, right? But we do have a little confluence. Marketcipher B, you guys see me using this indicator all the time. It's one of my personal favorites, giving us a rare green daily dot down here. This is a special sauce signal that is generated by Marketcipher B here. On the day momentum, we also have the green dot, so double green dot. We have not gotten this green dot in so long. It has been a green dot bear market. August of 23 again, the last time we saw this signal fired. And it's interesting because August is where we saw that RSI low. And now again, we have that RSI low and we have the green dot. This is good hopium. This is very high grade stuff. Be careful with it. It's powerful. That's about all I can really find on this chart that is hopium-ish. We could spend hours and hours kind of going through different things that maybe don't look good, but I don't know if there's much value to that. I don't think it's worth our time. Our daily moving averages, we have not touched the 200-day at this point. It is still on the table. The 200-day would provide us with a higher low. It's about 57.8 right now, above price on the day. And this is both concerning and kind of, in my experience, bullish, at least in the short term. We have a big cluster of moving averages. The 20 has crossed down below the 50 and now below the 100. And while that is bearish crossing or death crossing, it's not technically a death cross, but it's bearish crossing. It is. When we see this happen, even if the chart is reversed, we very often look for price to return to where these crosses are. So while that might not get your engines revving, 66,000 is a very logical place to look for a bounce, even if we're going to trade lower than we've already traded, even if we're going to trade lower than in May. This is pretty high probability. And if you watch this channel day in and day out, salute to you. You're Chad. We actually took a short there at 66.5 from the 50 daily moving average, and that short was phenomenal. Well done to anyone in the chat that took that one. You earned it. That's all on you. It's not me. I could very much see price doing something like this from here. So if we don't touch the 200 now, doesn't take it off the table, but we could see with high confidence a move like this. How did this not get hidden? Hold up. There we go. There it is. We could see a move like this back to this cluster of moving averages. If we whip out our fib tool to try to find some confluence at these levels, we're going to find, but we're going to find it. You better believe we're going to find it. We're going to find that the 618 is exactly at 66.5. Exactly. Right where those moving averages are. That is confluence, but it's also suggesting that there is liquidity resting in this area. I'm sure if we went through other time frames, we'd find agreeing horizontals there as well, but this point is kind of where I see things as the deciding factor, as the decision. At 66.5, rejecting from there will start to look a lot like our previous bull market top, at least in my opinion. Little bounce, May, rejection, and down farther. Or wait, no, it's here. I think it's right here. I haven't looked back at that data in a while closely. Did we not get the 618? Huh, we didn't even return to the 618 last time. Interesting. Interesting. But this is where this is like where I'll break a sweat. Let's put it that way. If we move back to 66.5 and reject and then break our low that we've established 2 days ago, things look very, very bad. Things look very bad. There's a shot that the 200 will catch support and things will look very weird on the chart with a slightly lower low, and then we move back up. But this is where I will start, not to concede my bullishness because that never ends, but I will then start to favor shorts more. I'll start to look more for short positions than long positions. I'll have to readjust my thinking as we have lost our major moving averages. And if we test them as resistance and it holds, things get very ugly. That being said, I think that that's probably the most likely move then. Whenever there's something that's going to make me panic down the chart, it tends to happen. And I don't necessarily mean lower lows, but what I do mean is I do think we hit 66.5. If we touch the 200 first, that might be better. That might be a stronger bounce. And almost guarantee if we hit 66.5, we're going to see price move back down. Market makers love to do this. They love to give us that awful, ugly scenario, and they love to hold it right in front of us and say, look, you called it, you're right. And then they like to prove us wrong. So what we're going to be hoping for if we do get 66.5 is any kind of higher low. It doesn't honestly matter where it is. I'd like to see something like this. Let's kind of extend our fib out into the future. There we go. maybe 61.3. I think 61.5 is where I added to my long, or re-added to my long. Right about there, right back at the 618. This would be the most stressful setup I can think of, personally. That's why I think it's going to happen. With this long stretch of red candles, a nice move back to 66.5 is going to punish those shorts. It's going to fill in some of this inefficiency on the way down. And it's going to get people hyped back up, thinking higher lows in, time to go to the moon. I could see this playing out, and if 66.3, 66.5 holds, we may then make that move back up and start to paint out that flat top ascending low triangle pattern that we love to see. Whew. All right, there it is. There it is. There's your breakdown. There's your breakdown. Keep in mind, all of this going on, we are approaching a twice a year closing of candles. We have 4 days and 7 hours. Man, we might have to stream on the 30th. I don't know what day it is now, but we have to stream on the 30th. We are looking to close so many candle timeframes. So many. Let me actually do this. There it is. Boom. Simplify the chart. So many time frames are closing here. It is bonkers. This happens twice a year. At the start of Q3 and at the end of the year, we get all of the time frames closing. So I have the 3 month pulled up because that's the one on everyone's radar, but we actually have an even bigger time frame closing. The 6 month. The 6 month is in great condition at this point. In fact, I think if we go back on BLX, I'm going to do this quick because now I'm curious. Yeah. Go back on BLX, you will find that every time that we have had a candle close on the 6 month above the previous all-time high, we have gone bonkers. We've gone absolutely ape. Back here in 2011, I'm moving these down so they touch the 6 month candles. Hold up. Back here, 2016. Back here, 2020. And then now, pending 4 days, we will have that same 6 month close at an all-time high. And I don't know why you'd bet against it. It might work out, but I don't know why you would necessarily be looking bearish there. That is kind of beautiful, actually. Pending 4 days, 7 hours. The 6 month will close. That's not all. The 3 month will close. I'm liking this 3 month close. We've talked about this pretty much every stream for the last 2 weeks because it's really all there is. 58.8. If we can close above 58.8, I'm fine. I'm good. We might have a boring summer. We might even have a boring end of year. But if we close above 58.8 on this quarterly, I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. The 6 month, we only need 46.2. That's a really low bar. The reason I say that about the 3 month, this is where we closed at the all-time high. We closed above it, Q1, Q2. We are now back to test that resistance as support. And if we can hold this, if the bulls can hold on to 58.8, I think at minimum, in the next quarter, we see 72.3, back to the previous quarter open. Minimum, if not higher. 71.3. But the 6 month and the 3 month are not it. The 2 month also closes here. So we have 6 month, 3 month, 2 month. The 2 month is very spooky. Thank you, Crypto Crew University or whoever's putting that out there. I like the FUD they're whipping up. Very spooky. Another doji candle. Looks like we're going to close right inside the previous 2 month close here. Above 61.1, 61.2 would be great. A bullish engulf would be at least better, I would say, than closing red. We have a lower low on this 2 month candle and a lower high. At least hold on to the body of the candle. At least, that'd be great. 2 month close. Then as well, the 1 month close. It doesn't end, boys. And this still isn't it. It doesn't end. 1 month above previous all-time high closes, consolidating sideways. This isn't as bad as it looks. It's just boring. That's really all it is. Going down even further, the week will close at the end of this month. This doesn't happen all the time. You might think, oh, that probably happens every month. It doesn't. Months don't add up like that. Math doesn't work that way. It's interesting, though, as all of these closes kind of are respecting each other's levels, if that makes sense. The 61.1 right here was our lowest weekly close in May. Right now, we're flirting with it with 4 days to go. We're at 60.9. 61.2 is a $300 move, which is 0.5%. Absolutely possible in the next 4 days. That'd be a great sign. The weekly does look kind of crappy. But a close above here would be much better. That extends out into all those time frames we just looked at. And then, of course, we're going to have... Actually, do we have a 2-day? I didn't even look at these. No 3-day close. What about a 4-day close? No 4-day close. 2-day. Will 2-day close? Yeah. 2-day candle close as well. So 6-month, 3-month, 2-month, 1-month, week, 2-day, 1 day, and obviously all the lower time frames then. But we have a lot going on. So here is kind of the bigger summary, the bigger idea of all that rambling I just did, guys. If you're feeling spookies, and that's okay, fear and greed for Bitcoin hit the lowest point since 2022. I know you guys saw that tweet. I know some of you saw other people copy that tweet, but they say since September of last year, but they're using words wrong by saying that. September of last year had a fear and greed rating of 30, and that's what we saw, 2 days ago or a day ago. That's an equal low. I said the lowest since. The last time it was lower than then was in 2022. I don't even know why I explained that. So you're not alone being spookies. It's okay. And if you found this channel and you're just tuning in now, you have no idea what's going on, you've stumbled into some luck. This is the place to be. You're not alone, but I caution you, or I encourage you to hold off those feelings. I know that's impossible, but try. Hold off those feelings until June closes. Let's see what happens in Q3. Let's see what happens with all these big time frames closing, especially keeping an eye on that 6-month. That's keeping me optimistic. But just hold off. If you're feeling panicked, if you're feeling stressed, that's okay. That's part of trading. Consider deleveraging. Maybe you're over leveraged. Considering cut down your exposure. Maybe you're overexposed. If you're feeling that way, you have too much riding on what happens next. And that is not a successful investing or even trading strategy. It's all about being able to stay cool, stay calm, and weather the storm. Because once you look back, you'll see that there were much spookier times. And in every single one of those spookier times, if you had made a decision in panic, sold out, jumped out of the game, it would have been the wrong decision. Drop the mic. Boom. Done. Let's go green dot on Marketcipher. I got through the intro. I don't know what else to look at. I have like 2 charts that I'll show you, but then we can just kind of take requests to get the everydays out of the way. If you guys have not checked out Meta Signals yet, check it out. metasignals.io. They're a great sponsor of this channel. They are incorporated, or I don't know, in partnership with Eric Crown and K-Dubs, 𝐻𝐫𝐼𝐼. This is a great algorithmic, I'll call it a signals bot, but what it really is like an intelligent scanner. This is going to look at 120 pairs across 10 time frames. It's going to identify specific setups, specific conditions, and it's going to feed you a potential trade setup. And while I do not condone or don't recommend ever copy trading something like that blindly, me or anyone or anything, I do think there is a lot of value in just seeing the signals. Maybe you'll find charts that you aren't looking at. You'll find setups that you're not looking at. It can do a lot of the work for you. Check it out, metasignals.io. Hit that button. And then LuxAlgo. Oh, by the way, use that link and you will get a free 2-week trial for MetaSignals. And then LuxAlgo. I'm going to be using LuxAlgo more. I've been kind of thinking about how I'm going to do this, and I have an idea. LuxAlgo is the best in the business at indicators. They have hundreds of free ones. They have many premium ones. You'll get a 1-month risk-free trial with my link. Check them out. See what they got. Let me know if you like their tools. All right, shill's out of the way. Shill's done. Also, like and subscribe. Stuff like that. Hype up the stream. All right. I'm going to turn my attention to the chat for a little bit. See who's here. what you guys are looking at. Then I'm gonna really briefly go through. I think I have 2 charts that I want to share, like incredibly briefly. Not gonna take long because I don't have much to say about them. And then we're just gonna take requests, I guess. What else is there to do on a Wednesday? On a Wednesday that's hot, but not spicy. What do we do? What do we do? Let's find out. Okay, pulling up the chat. My computer's lagging behind a little bit here, but I'm catching up. What's up, Alexandria G, the queen herself? How you doing, Alexandria? Awesome, me. B4 Crypto, my guy. B4 Crypto whipped up some thumbnails for me. And I have, or, well, no, I have. He has been experiencing what it is like to work with Tom Crown. And I'll tell you, it's not the best time. It's not the best time. But he's a good dude. Check him out. He's got his own YouTube channel. I'll have to tune in sometime. I'll admit I have not yet. Give him a subscribe. There we go. My guy. I see a super chat, but let me get through what I'm saying here. And then I will read it. We got Big Daddy Super Balls, my friend. How are you? Blue Sky, Crypto 420, Crypto Pup, Crypto Bad Fox, Crypto Kitty. Lots of crypto names. I like it. David, Dylon Valentine, 11-7 Productions with the super chat. Let me get to that then. Fabio Joel Fanzen. Whoa, I just got some burpee heartburn, but I'll be okay. Ugh. I'll tell you about that. Let me see. Josh Durham is here. Almost certainly doom posting. Hope you're doing all right, Josh. Justin Machek. JY Adventures. Loading name. Good to see you back. Matthew Schmeed. 𝐒𝐈𝐆𝐍 Games. There's 𝐒𝐈𝐆𝐍 Games. She is a wonderful contributor to this channel in crownanalysis.com. You can follow her on Twitter. I can't pull it up right now because it's not letting me click this. But 𝐒𝐈𝐆𝐍 Games on Twitter, like her username says. Mighty Mike, Nebulous Nub, No Watini, Pablo Jr., Riker's Beard, Randy Greer, Star Owl, Sunny Singh, Sin, T-Bone. How you doing, Sin? The Dusty Hunt. Pickle, my right-hand man, Tony Rosas, and Tony Urban. Good names. It's a quieter day. That's okay. Let me see this super chat. Jesus Coin breaking out, asks 11-7. Where's the normal Jesus crew? Where's ooh, can I pull this name out? Crap. Drawing a blank, but I do remember the other guy's name. 𝐒𝐽, something like that. Something around there. We'll look at Jesus Coin. I'll pull this up. I only have, like I said, 2 charts I want to show you. We'll pull it up. We're going to look at these other 2 really quick first. Oh, man. Yeah, so I've been drinking coffee because I keep reading articles about how good coffee is for you. It's apparently like a miracle. Like, people who drink coffee have like a 20% less mortality rate. Like, overall, not like from one thing, from like everything, which is bonkers. So I've been trying to drink it, but it's giving me heartburn. That's why I didn't used to drink it. But I'm holding out. I had a Tums before the stream. Hopefully that'll get me through. What else we got going on? Coffee's the best. If it didn't give me heartburn, it'd be the best. You love my thoughts on MAGA. I bet you would, Randy. Bet you would. Schmeed, you have 20 a day. Ugh. I don't think the decaf would make it less burny. What's up, Stymie? Coffee with honey. Ooh. I actually haven't been putting sugar in it. Are you supposed to? U.S. government just sent 4K Bitcoin to CoinBase. Judge approved a sell. I don't think they need a judge to approve anything. Is it, quote, Bitcoin from Mt. Gox? Or not Mt. Gox. Silk Road. Twitter. Whale alert. Let me see. Whale alert should... Wow. It should flag that as like specific wallet. So I do see that there is a 4K Bitcoin send to Coinbase. However, I will question if it is actually U.S. government. So it's unknown wallet to Coinbase institutional. But here is why. Unknown wallet. If this was a U.S. government wallet, it would not say unknown wallet here. 900 Bitcoin transferred from Genesis Trading to Coinbase. ETH Coinbase. Link Coinbase. Maybe it's down farther. Litecoin, USDT, ETH. Does not appear to be. You know what? Let's do a little sleuthing. Let's click this. US government rats. Well, apparently not the only one that thinks that. Still selling. US government. I don't know who. I imagine some YouTuber said that or something. And that's why people are writing that. You know what? Here's a screenshot that's believable. I can't do the research right now myself, but you guys can. This screenshot's pretty believable. I just wonder why not Coinbase, why Whale Alerts wouldn't have flagged that wallet. That doesn't really make sense. They're usually pretty good about that. Either way, I don't know. We got Germany with how many Bitcoin they're selling. We got the US government selling. You got Mt. Gox coming. It's the perfect FUD setup. It's so good. It's so good. What do we say when we see a price move and then the news, then the FUD? Usually the move's in after that. Coffee helps beat laziness. I did go to the gym today, so maybe you're right. 2 votes on the poll. We can get that up. 12 minutes ago. 𝐂𝐴M showing it. What's 𝐂𝐴M? Chuck Schumer pocketed all the Silk Road Bitcoin. That'd be great. Not coin moving up. What's up, Bad Baptist? What's up, that knock life? Whole market is due for a come to Jesus moment. I mean, we had a pretty serious come to Jesus moment from the end of 2021 to this year, maybe, basically. Cold coffee is the best for heartburn. Randy, I'm going to have to check that out. Cass versus Bitcoin Mighty Mighty. I did say we'd look at that. You've been having the craps with coffee. I haven't experienced that yet. Not yet. Looking forward to it, though. Who else is here? Mark M. Blue Sky, what's good with you? Jordan Mac. Tom, you got to try Cafecito. Cuban coffee. All right, I'm in. Just because it's called Cafecito, I'll try it. Go to 𝐂𝐴M US. Government to track. It's true. Fair enough. It's weird, though. It is weird that Whale Alert didn't flag that wallet. It's not as if that's some, like, new crazy wallet. I don't know. I'll move on from that. Where did my treadmill go? Well, guys, I'm moving in August. I'm moving August 1st. So the treadmill's already packed away. I know. Expirations this Friday. We'll see big money coming to crypto. Maybe. Spice cannon and coffee equals toilet. True. We going lower? Going lower? I don't know, man. I don't know. I could take a look at that. I didn't do any low time frame stuff. We have our big macro levels marked out, but zooming in, we should probably have our open candle. You can call this a fair value gap if we want. We should have this open from yesterday marked out. If we do see continued downside today, 60.2, we'll fill that gap. Not a bad spot to look for a bounce for very short term. Right in between the 0.5 and 618. Nothing too close, so I won't really count that as confluence. 12 hours still kind of looks like dog. Six hour kind of still like dog, but a little bit better. A little better. 4 dog. I don't like this. This is the thing that's like keeping me reserved. I don't like this action. I do not like low RSI. I do not like it with a pie. It'd be better with a pie, but I don't like it. I don't like that the 4 hour and other time frames RSI is under 50 and is remaining there. It's like stuck there. This is indicative of a downtrend. I don't like that. We have a very low RSI low that came in, I'm sure, on that dump, but we need to see RSI back above 50, not just on the 4 hour, but I assume on many time frames. That's what's kind of keeping me from screaming up right now, up this second. 2 hours rolling over slowly, very slowly, maybe not quite there. Not quite at a lower low. RSI again on the 2, still same resistance, same concept under that 50 line, showing us that the strength of the trend has a downside bias. 1 hour rolling over. I like that for the 2 hour. I like that. Money flow trickling off there. Momentum still negative, but trickling. Hour made some pushes above, but it's falling back below again. Not the best signal. 45. Money flow making higher highs. I do like that. RSI, same condition. 30. Not the worst. It's getting a little bit more bullish as I go down. I don't hate that. There we go. You still see that bias to the under 50 RSI. I don't like that. Do not. 15? 15? Ugh. 15 still dumpy. We might see more downside today. Man. Okay. I like that. 59.9. Oh wow, 350 minute. I don't even know what's going on with that. 59.9 maybe. 60.4 to 60.2. $600 is only a 1% range, so let's just put up a 1% range. Screw it. Let's see, like here. What do you guys think? This doesn't look very good. Yep, no sunny skies quite yet. All right, I got distracted. I'm back. You like crashes? I like when price moves. Nuno Costa. I like when it moves. I don't mind it when it goes down. I prefer it when it goes up. But the thing I hate is the sideways. The sideways is the killer, dude. It's like when you're going down, it's at least something's happening. And when it's moving down, you know you're getting closer to the bottom. When it's moving sideways, you're not really making any progress. You're just putting it on pause. I don't like that. Bro just called me Dylan Valentine. I did. What's up, Dylan Valentine? Smash the like, says Alexandru G. I agree. You should also join the Discord if you haven't. It's free. It's good stuff. Good stuff. Crypto Redneck, sup, brah? Simon Backwash. 60K is more or less the new low for the next bear market. So everything you can grab 60K or under is great to me. I wonder how you got to that conclusion. Not agreeing or disagreeing, just interesting. You got positions still? The exact same ones. Yeah, they haven't changed. I have not been doing a lot of trading. That has been true, honestly, since like March. If you're trading a lot, good luck. Good for you. But if you're trading a lot because you feel like you should, you probably should do some self-introspection there. You don't need to always be in trades. You don't. I usually am in some, but like, you don't have to have a new trade every day. Oftentimes, the right move is nothing. You'll see. Same positions. I think I put a stop and like a piece closed. I reopened it. I'm net neutral. It's not very exciting. Pretty happy with that short position, but yeah, not a lot going on. All right. Let me blast through these charts. I only got 2. You had to get coffee because of me? Good. We'll look at Caspa then. I'll pull it up. We got Caspa. We got Jesus pulled up, which we're going to look at after I do this. Oh, no. Oh, no. I just want to show you guys the charts that are actually kind of doing something. And unfortunately, that is not in crypto. Tesla made a big move today, at least comparatively. I believe it's only up 4%. But if you guys were watching this on the open, it's actually kind of bonkers, dude. It opened and rocketed those 4% in 15 minutes. I don't really have any other insights. Just Tesla making a move to the upside. In the bigger picture, not really that exciting. Tesla's had lower highs all the way back to honestly about when Bitcoin topped out in its all-time high, late 21, lower highs all the way down. I think people, the bulls on Tesla here are hoping this is a higher low that holds and it comes back to the trend, breaks the trend and moves, let's say, back to all-time highs, back to its highs, something like that. This chart keeps getting goofed up because, I don't know, actually. I was going to say stock splits, but I don't think they've done one. That might be why it's goofed up to begin with. See something like that. For Tesla, I got like 200, 205 maybe. 238 is very juicy, actually. 238. I'm going to go with 238. All right. And then the dollar. That was it. These are the two charts I got for you. Dollar making higher highs here. Potentially a reason, a logical reason we're seeing downward pressure in crypto. Though at this point, I'm not really convinced it's related. With stocks continuing to be green, I don't think that this is it. A lot of the time we can just kind of point the finger at the dollar and be like, look, everything else is dumping. Dollar's going up. It's the dollar's fault. Not so convinced here right now. Not so convinced. Dollar reaching higher highs still. Let's see the 6 month here. How's this look on bigger time frames? Actually, that's pretty raw. That's pretty good. If the dollar closes above 105, it will paint a 3 rising methods on the 6 month, a very bullish candlestick pattern. Let's see this month. Okay. So we are seeing strength here, but still within last month's open. May's open, 106.3. It would be very surprising to not see the dollar reach 106.5 here. No, 106.3. I have to have another horizontal. There it is. 106.3. Back to May's high. I think we probably